Hello, my name is Jonathan, and I'm one of the marketing team here at readgifted.com. And today is super exciting because I'm with both of the authors, both Kim and Paul. And today is our very first character reveal, or hashtag character reveal. And we've been waiting for this for quite some time, so I know you're as excited as I am to hear about this. And I live on a mountain, and when I look out of my window, I have a tree. I live in my office second story, and I have a tree right by my window, which is about 15 feet high and about 6 feet from our property. And almost every time I look out of my window, I see a certain character with feathers. And I don't know whether it's because they're gifted or not, but I am much more aware of what's going on around me, especially this kind of character. So Kim and Paul, I've had the pleasure of secretly reading your book, and I loved it. But one of the first, in fact, the first character that we're kind of introduced to, even in the intro, is somebody called Balchazar. So please do tell us who this person is, where the name came from, and what this person's role is in the Book of Gifted.
Go ahead, Paul.
All right, Balchazar. Well, Balchazar is kind of a central character in the book and in the series. And he is, he kind of has a dual role. He's kind of the mastermind behind the story and what's going on with it, but he also acts like as a narrator. And Gifted is a book of fiction, but we teach principles, kind of some life principles in the book. And so we use Balchazar as a narrator to jump in at strategic moments and to kind of teach a point, emphasize a point. So that's one of the things that I really like about Balchazar, is that he is that narrator. When Kim and I started writing the book, I was actually reading a book, and I was reading a fiction book, and the book had a narrator, and I was fascinated with that concept of kind of a little, in this book, it was kind of a sarcastic narrator who would jump in and make these snarky comments. And I really liked that concept and that idea. And so, you know, as Balchazar's character evolved, we decided and we discussed it that in order for the audience to kind of really understand the principles that we're trying to teach, that it would be awesome to kind of use him as a narrator. But he's much more than a narrator.
Of course.
Yes.
So Kim, do tell us what kind of person or animal or whatever Balchazar is, and where the name came from, because I know you've done a lot of research around this.
So Balchazar is a crow, and he was strategically chosen to be a crow because of the nature of crows. They're highly intelligent. They function in social groups very much like people do. They have funerals, they give gifts, they communicate with each other, they can recognize people, they warn the other individuals in their communities who they can trust, who they cannot trust, who to stay away from. And so clearly, Jonathan, because you see a crow all the time, you are a trusted individual. So they're just really cool birds to begin with, and we chose them because of their intelligent and the very flexible nature of how they live. He got his name because we wanted something kind of exotic. So we went searching for a name, and it actually means gift of God, which was very fitting for the book because of all the gifts that we receive from God, universe, spirit, whatever it is that you want to call it, you personally want to call it. And the name is actually pronounced Balchazar, but we liked Balchazar much better. So we kind of mutated it into Balchazar. So Balchazar is a key figure in the book and really important to the story, actually.
Wow. Now, you said it sort of sounded a little exotic, and you made my mind go back to the three wise men in the Bible. And I don't think it was Balchazar, but it was something very similar to that, which was a Persian name, if I remember.
Well, it is Middle Eastern,
Okay.
and I don't remember off the top of my head specifically where it comes from, but it is Middle Eastern.
Love it. I love it. Now, no spoiler alert here, because we've seen the book cover, but this crow that's not a raven, not a magpie, not a hawk, it is a crow. Got that. In its claws is holding a gold round object of kinds with seems to have something on it, whether it's an encryption or just a pattern. Can you spoil anything for the audience around what that might relate to at all?
I don't know. What do you think, Paul?
Well, it's a very important object. And the delivery of that object starts a series of events.
Okay.
Starts the adventure, essentially.
All right. So Kim, you said that crows bring gifts, and the book's called Gifted, and the crow's holding something. So,
So you connected the dots mentally. We won't have to do that for you.
That's okay. Now, I remember in my childhood, a neighbor of my mum's had a magpie in their home, and that magpie could speak words that sounded like human words, a bit like a parrot. But I believe that this crow in your book can do a little bit more than that.
He does. He has a voice, and he speaks very eloquently, and he does not speak in contractions. He speaks in proper English, and he communicates very well. He takes complex ideas and he distills them to a very simple truth.
When you said he speaks in English, I may or may not have heard a rendition of Balchazar's voice, which is quite exciting.
He has a voice.
Very, very soon, we're going to be opening up a Facebook group, which is only for people who are invited to join. It's an exclusive community as the book launch gets a little bit closer, and there's going to be behind-the-scenes information in this group that you won't get on the Facebook page, or until you read the book. And as I understand it, the moderator of the Facebook group is our very own Mr. Balchazar.
Indeed, it is true.
And I also hear that he's actually very competent at sending people emails.
He is.
He's fascinating.
He's highly intelligent.
So when we say character reveal, I don't think people quite realize how much is going to be revealed when they get to know one of the central characters behind Gifted.
No, actually, it's going to be a lot of fun because you'll be able to email him. He currently has an email address. You'll be able to email him and ask him questions and get a response from him. You'll be able to hear his voice, and he'll introduce you to other things and other people, and it'll be really fun.
Fantastic. So unlike Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds, where everybody looks at the birds and they're like, this is quite the opposite, and nobody need be fearful that this crow means any harm, right?
Yeah.
That is exciting. That is exciting.
So, bird.
Character reveal number 1, central narrating character, Balchazar. I love it. You guys have just piqued my imagination, and thank you so much for just giving us a little insight into what's to come. Any final questions or answers that we might want to share with us about this crow? Oh, maybe that's enough for now.
You did say that he speaks English, and Balchazar does have a British accent.
But of course.
With his proper English, he has a proper British accent.
I 100% approve. Oh, that's great. So Kim and Paul, thank you once again for the first character reveal. It's going to become a weekly reveal as we go forward, and we're excited to join the Facebook group in the upcoming days. Thank you both.
Excellent. Okay. Thanks, Jonathan.
Bye for now.